na tangu ulisala wangalala oyo mai vitawa ragira sembaki 500 kapa na rawaka ni nungu ngoli na ko rawata mai na siwa batake na nunu na rawaka ni roto buli na ngone rawata mai na nunu kina siwa te rawati sarvali na rawaka ni nungu mbula babubal en dutu na burbure ni mbula nyonga raida nanduna Kawakawa sinduna nduna mungkali romai sakela saranga ngo na ilabo nduni labo bina ko chan rawata ina kango.
Fish are a big part of our lives here in the Pacific. For generations, they have sustained our families, our communities, and our livelihoods. Lisala Wangalala and many others like him who make their living off the sea know their fishing grounds better than anyone, including all the best ways and places to catch Kawakawa and Donu, commonly called grouper in English. But these days, he says, our need for cash is fast outgrowing the supply of fish.
Ndau duto ang kinipata kila. Doon buni kawi bonua. Ndau se ndrala. Ni se ndrala tukun ni sangano ni Kawakawa. Ya wira nangase ngoni ka ndau ngoni sio Kawakawa. Na ngo ndona bro ni ndonu ko. Pesa zugo. Donu nubi. Da kune vale bro ndonu ko. Kwa kina Kawakawa. Kito wala ngolin dubat ken dona irtuna kito babitedin dona Kawakoli kito ngoli mai via rautani vituna fit nambala buni tamani kalibu rona lubengu rosa chongo ro raida nika kito bagandi dina takani rakuni neke awni na inambara bengo ngono go sasenga nabatu salal galani zakawe salal ya au bina kateme retorno makumbung to la raida kapandi dina tartaranga indu chuana ikana Kawakawa.
All around Fiji, similar stories are being told about the rapidly declining numbers and sizes of Kawakawa and Donu.
Yana kaka mem do vitau takabali na lesio na Kawakawa. Patin Kawakawa ni ngono sanga mesati kebu mai kina puna mesalo mai senga. Yo bir ngani ndela ni batu. Sendala ni punga sala ko ngamena Kawakawa. Pokok baka ikararo ni siwat ya. Tulak mantanga toli abi mantanga Kawakawa toli stali bale mera ni tangun suneka bisa pasti ngalevo ya. Oni liu na Kawakawa lor ni siwat sartunga bango. Ko mantanga siwo na Kawakawa Kawakawa lalai ni batu Pernah ni pasar tunga ngo se bango. Yo ngono ngo senga ngo siwo sarvasar ngango so sarvasar ngango. Andren desar nga, ngo mantanga anu kundolisi ngo, ono postik nango.
In 1972, I started my own fishing as a commercial fisherman. At that time, every type of fish, no matter where you drop your anchor, you get the fish. It was enough to survive because plenty fish. We don't have to stay out in the sea as we are staying today, 10 days, 15 days. Just have to go to 2 days or 3 days, come back with a ton of fish. Today you stay 15 days, you come back with 30, 40 kilo fish. I have fished all over these places, especially even here, this place too, and even this place, all. This is where Lambasa is somewhere here. Before we used to fish all these areas now. Now we have to go down and fish up to here. Fishes day by day. It's getting less and lesser. How will you survive for the future generation?
Nanggol-gol ko nanggol-gol sa nanggol-gol itu sa nanggol-gol lebi bitini ko. Orang online repas itu ko na wong ko no na bita ta ka kete ko ta na kasala. Iya, orang online repas itu. Yan sa mitte ke buna riu na ya kauwe. Sa tamu lebu na pono ka daw lila dinu mat ko na potor do ko na nandun na patri kasala. Juga ko salah ko na sa tambe ke nya to ko na ko ta mat. Barra bigo sa tutu yatle ni ko gitu le betla kasala ibida da ko. Sa tigay mun.
Kawakawa and Donu are so vulnerable to overfishing because of how they breed. Few fish breed so predictably, in the same places, at the same times, in such large numbers. Following the moon cycles, at a healthy breeding sites, hundreds if not thousands of fish would gather and release their eggs. But these gatherings put them at great risk to overfishing, as too few fish are left to breed and restock the reefs. In 2003, 22 breeding sites were identified and surveyed in Fiji's waters. 18% of the breeding sites in Fiji for Kawakawa were found to be dead, meaning fish no longer successfully breed there. 73% of the breeding sites were found to be at risk of dying out soon if we don't act now. And sadly, just 9% of the country's sites were found to be healthy. That was 2003, and fishing pressure has only increased in Fiji since then.
70 to 80% of the population directly rely on coastal fisheries or inshore fisheries for food resource. We used to just rely on subsistence fisheries maybe before the advent of the market economy from the 1940s, 1950s and 1960s. Now people are going out to fish the reefs that were not accessible before. Our population too is increasing, and we know that we are not giving these stocks time to recover. If I can give an example, is these groupers and coral trout, Kawakawa and Donu.
The decline of our Kawakawa and Donu stocks is a big problem that casts a wide net, impacting our lives and also our culture.
Traditionally in Fiji, when there's a gathering of for the Great Council of Chiefs or a chiefly traditional gathering where Maluata is concerned, we take turtle. That has been there for ages. So now that the idea, the banning of the turtle, the control of the turtle trade is going on, fish, Kawakawa and Donu is the next one that they use it as sewu or for special occasions.
Away from remote coastal villages, people living in Fiji's towns and cities are always on the lookout for a good catch. But even here, there are signs that we are losing our fish.
See, we used to have a fish shop not too long ago, and we had to close it down because we weren't getting consistent quality fish. And when I mean quality, I mean we've got high standards at New World IGA. So we thrive for standards, so we weren't getting consistent quality, so we had to close it down. That itself is a concern, that a large retail chain can't get hold of fish to meet the demand for Fiji. Water everywhere, as they say, no fish to see, and that's what it is here.
But there's some good news. While knowing when these fish breed makes them extremely vulnerable to overfishing, it also makes them easier to help. If we simply avoid catching them, eating them and selling them during their peak breeding months, we can help ensure they breed each year and restock our reefs. And thanks to research by the Ministry of Fisheries, we know exactly when to give them a break. June through September are the peak months for these fish to breed. That's why in 2014, the 4FJ campaign was launched. It makes helping these fish recover as easy as 1, 2, 3. Just ask Jerry Tuwai, one of the growing numbers of 4FJ champions.
The campaign was developed by Sea Change, a regional communications NGO based in Fiji. We worked with fisheries and other key partners to develop a campaign that would help build wide public support for reviving these fish. We knew something had to change or we would lose these fish. But we also knew that people are already getting overwhelmed with environmental campaigns, with so much scientific information that people were tuning out. Then we made sure we gave people something they could do right here, right now, to make a difference. If you want to help, just take the 4FJ pledge not to eat them for the 4 months. Just give them a chance to breed, and we all get more later. And it worked better than what we anticipated.
With just a few part-time campaign staff and the help of volunteers, the 4FJ campaign reached out through our annual festivals in Suva, Nandi, Lotoka and Lambasa, and it reached out through the media and through presentations to communities and corporations. Anywhere someone would listen, the campaign went.
So we share the stories of people of Fiji through our champions from all walks of life, including some very prominent Fijians. So each champion told us why it mattered and why we needed to take action.
Bula Binaka, I'm Mosela Serevi of Garani village in Ngau. Kawakawa and Donu are rapidly declining across Fiji. I want to let them breed and restock our reefs so we can eat more of them the rest of the year, because I don't want to be remembered as the generation that ate it all.
Nisambula, I'm Shami Lochan, the FBC manager of radio programs. I pledge not to eat Kawakawa or Donu during their peak spawning months, because what will happen to us if our fish run out?
Nisambula, I'm Ben Ryan, coach of the National Sevens rugby team. I want to let them breed and restock Fiji's reefs, because I want to help ensure the people of Fiji thrive today and tomorrow.
Nisambula, I am Reverend Dr. Epineri Wakandiawosa, General Secretary of the Methodist Church in Fiji. We wanted to let them breed and restock our reefs so we can eat more of them the rest of the year, because the Bible calls on us to be responsible stewards of all the beautiful things God created.
The campaign also inspired local music legend Makare to write a theme song called Our Way of Life that captured the spirit of the campaign.
It's future, it's physical, original, it's yours, it's mine, it's our way of life.
Since the 4FJ campaign launched, more than 15,000 people have stepped up to take the pledge at pledge drives held across the country. These people then help spread the word to their families and their networks. Wherever the campaign went, most people wanted to take action as soon as they heard the 4FJ story.
Kita lo tu mana minggu kita liwang karabulika kita sa rete tu naik kita pengerasa tu naik ko begitu boleh sama ni sindo naik ko kita rete market kita sama ni nanu begitu mi pangarto kita sama rete ko kita sama ni wabun mina kami kita sando ko takin kita sa thing tu mana kan naik ko na ko kawan lo mani ngona lele ko.
Personally, I love eating fish, but this is a particular breed of fish, and I would want the next generations to also at least have some in the environment for them to also enjoy and appreciate. If we tend to abuse the resources in our environment, such as these fish, then it's going to go extinct. That's what I'm personally worried about. I have to spread this message as well. As a teacher, I would want to tell my students as well about the importance of this.
This is not only a campaign. What we want to do is take it to another level, incorporate it with some of our theological interpretation, maybe in our schools, our theological schools. As we talk about the Creator, in the Hebrew it's called Elohim. Out of nothing he created. From nothing it came to be. And then gave that power to humanity, and he said, go and dominate, have power over the earth. It does not mean to abuse. Domination means to be good steward. Domination means to look after, in the concept, to be the steward, not only that, but to be the protector of nature.
We took the pledge 3-4 years ago to not sell Donu and Kawakawa during the spawning season. To be honest, initially we took a whip slash because people were like, why not? Why not? Because I guess we started off first and we felt that we had to play a role in the community to make a difference. We do hope that the other retail chains set the ground rules for the entire nation. We humbly hope that they follow suit as well.
Lisala Wangalala was one of the first fishermen to take the pledge and become a 4FJ champion. His story demonstrates the power of the campaign. Lisala attended the launch of the 4FJ website in Suva in 2014 and left inspired. Then he started to talk to his friends and family about making a change and in turn inspired a village.
Eu não matei ni fisherman, matei ni dongoli. Meu soli na go vitoko ni, meu pledge na kena me toko ni me batambu na goli ni Donu, patara Kawakawa. Hoje sarama ni vitoko ni na boni le ni koro kem chura signi bulang ona, kem le rusam lo ko alu kem soli me pledge na singa. Pokona matei ni koro me pledge. Endire ni se viendre revale na kena dada tagisara. Asobir na dongoli, sobe kemi na dongoli. So ngono kemi ngola daba ni ngono tuli tambu. Ngono go, le ni koro sa mato chuko bua me bata tambu na ngono ni nonda voli na Kawakawa te kena Donu.
The evidence is clear. More and more people are understanding the issue, and once they do, they want to do something about it. But is it enough?
There's an amazing amount of awareness now, largely through the For Fiji campaign. So an awareness and appreciation that something needs to be done. Let's take a scenario where we lose Kawakawa because they are the most vulnerable of the reef fishes. What's going to happen? The next group of fish that are available will go down. The snappers, the sambutu, the emperors, those types of things will be the next ones to disappear. So the groupers are really an indication. We can't manage the groupers, we're going to have problems with reef fishes in general and struggle to maintain healthy fisheries. So that's why it's important to be making decisions as a country, as a nation, about where do people want these fish to be used? Who should be getting the benefits of the fish and the value, the fabulous value that these fish actually have, the economic value. It's getting to that next step of how that can actually be done. And why I'm particularly worried is because I think there's a real urgency.
In June 2017, while co-presiding over the United Nations Oceans Conference in New York, Fiji made 17 voluntary commitments to save and protect its ocean and marine resources. On the global stage, Fiji made a statement about doing what's necessary to sustainably manage its marine resources and encouraged other countries to follow. Among these was the call for sustainable management of Kawakawa and Donu, and a key measure to do that would be making the 4FJ pledge a legal ban. Fiji pledged to stop the fishing and sale of Kawakawa and Donu during its peak breeding months, starting in 2018.
The 14th voluntary commitment seeks the sustainable management of gropers. We call it in Fijian Kawakawa to ensure that these vulnerable fish species continue to provide substantial benefit to coastal communities in Fiji. The Ministry of Fisheries with its partners have committed to ensuring that sustainable management of gropers, including the use of seasonal closure of critical spawning sites with the prohibition of fishing and sales of this species of fish during the spawning season.
On 6 June 2018, the Ministry of Fisheries issued a public notice banning the fishing, sale and export of all species of grouper, Kawakawa, and coral trout, Donu, from June through September. Any person or business found in breach of the 4-month ban will have their fish confiscated and could receive high fines. For individuals, an instant fine of $10,000 with a potential of up to $50,000 in fines. For corporations, an instant fine of $20,000 with a potential of up to $100,000 in fines. With the seasonal ban in place and as the fish stocks start to recover, the government also wants to take measures to improve the amount of money fishermen earn from this prized resource.
It's clear that the fisherman is getting very little compared to the middleman and the exporter. The average price per kg for Donu and Kawakawa is around $9 a kg, while the middleman can be selling it from around $16 a kg, and if they export it overseas, they'll get about $25 a kg. We are working with the communities and our other partners, the non-government organizations, to try to work out on a better pricing structure so that they get a better value our fishermen rather than getting the least out of their hard work.
For now, Fiji needs to revive these fish, and that means letting them breed.
Usually it's during this breeding season that the harvest and the sales and the export goes sky high, yes.
And there are many who are ready to step up to make sure this ban works. The town councils oversee all the fish markets in Fiji and have all pledged to help fisheries enforce the ban.
For Nosori Town Council, we were one of the first councils to take the pledge. We felt that it was critical, it was important that we should take the pledge and support the whole program to ensure that we replenish our fisheries resources. And Nosori Market is a center that deals with the 4 provinces like Rewa, Taleu, Natasiri, and Lomaiviti. So we would expect a lot of people dealing with fish. And fisheries industry is also very dependent in this particular location. Together with these fisheries, we have put in posters to ensure that people are educated, people get that message and information, and that we will be able to develop this program further. Nosori Town Council will always be there to ensure that we follow these regulations in terms of banning the catching of Kawakawa during this period. Yeah. We will work together with fisheries to ensure that this whole program is actually enforced here.
The town councils are not the only ones stepping up to stop the harvesting, sale and export of these fish during their peak breeding months. The Fiji Revenue and Customs Service is on board to stop export, and the Fiji Police Force are ready to do their part through their community posts.
If we continue to go down this line and have depleted resources, it will put a strain on our enforcement and trying to maintain law and order. Specifically when it's food security that we are talking about. And that is why this campaign is very critical for us to be on board and for us to take the lead role in developing intervention programs as far as communities is concerned. Because once we satisfy this and address these needs, the factors or the issue crime itself will then be addressed.
This is a bold step, but it's perhaps the only way out for us at this point in time. Culturally and traditionally, working together, what we call sole solevaki, always works for us because everybody is there and we put all our minds and our hands and even our shoulder in supporting what is there. Government cannot do it alone. Ministry of Fisheries cannot do it alone. The communities cannot do it on their own. If we can do this, we could easily let the Kawakawa and Donu stock recover within the next 3 to 5 years.
One of my dreams was to ensure that I bring those glory days back. The days that we were abundant in resources, there were a lot of fish there, and there were a lot of food around, and people had good houses. There were no too much social issues out there.
So we can narituki, hindi sala ko itu kan sana lumikian tanga. Kita sini bakas mata tu isa, rama kumbun dan rambulan may na nangona next generation dan bitu tumanda ni sana kami boy.
Work, but I believe that it is part of every human being's calling.
purpose is to live, not only live, but look after the things that we live with, and that is nature.
Kera ni kuni o vita o ndunduanga, kera ni ndau nguli tau doko, vira ndau siwa tau doko. Rau ni kuni ali nei kongo vira na vitamata tolu, vana tamata muri. Makumbungu, urituna luviana, taraver tamata muri. Kuni ali vira nei kongo.